Hello and welcome to another episode of Northside Now. This is the podcast where we take you on a tour through all of the ministries and latest happenings around Northside Church to keep you better connected with your church family. My name is Patrick, and with me as always are my co-hosts, Glenn Miller and Kevin Bryant. Hey! What's happening?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to North Carolina's biggest... I can't do it with a straight face.
Sunday, the big smasher.
Welcome to Jackson's #1 rock station.
And we've had too many Easter eggs.
Sorry, I've just hopped up on all the chocolate.
Yeah.
So it always brings up the yearly question of what's better, the Reese's egg or the Reese's Christmas tree?
For me, it's always the egg. I feel like there's more peanut butter in the egg.
As long as it's not Reese's.
Reese's?
Oh, no.
They're mean little monkeys.
Hey, Glenn, did you get your fill of sour candies? And now your mouth is
I have tried
destroyed.
The sour candy again, and let me tell you, my mouth's peeling. It's like I've been at the equator with no clothes on. I'm just like blistered all inside my mouth. It's horrible.
Did you know that if everybody in the world held hands around the equator, most of them would drown?
Man.
Yeah.
Hang on. We need to pause.
Hold on.
I thought you were going to say something along the lines of Glenn with no clothes on.
Oh, yeah, no.
At the equator.
I was trying to avoid that. I wasn't trying to draw more attention to it.
Well, Patrick was out of the room for a while, and Kevin and I were talking about this, eating the candy that tears your mouth all to pieces. It feels like a bobcat's been in my mouth, just clawing the sides of it.
Sweet tarts do it. You were talking about Skittles, sour candy. I think it's the acid in it, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're thinking citric acid, and we're unfortunately maybe it's because we've had a half a century of Easters under our belt. It might be part of the problem.
After time, it just wears us
It's like the lining of your mouth is wearing thin.
Yeah. Exactly. I will not do this again.
Yeah, right.
You know, that is a good question. You know how you're supposed to replace all your skin X number of times a year? I wonder, is that true for the inside of your mouth too?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a good question.
Or maybe we need to take citric acid and like put it in one of those facial things and peel your skin off. I don't know.
Have a sweet tart mask.
Yeah. Hold on now. You might be onto something.
You just peel it off and you eat it afterwards.
This is our Skittle face rub.
Oh,
Barbie comes to bed, is like, why do you smell like Skittles? So, yeah, I don't know. Gosh. Yes, we're so excited. We're past Easter and all the candy now. People can really start working on their diet program before summer gets here.
Yeah.
You know, this is the time of year where gyms get a little busier than even they did the first year.
Yeah.
Because people start to go, oh, vacation is in like 5 or 6 weeks.
Got to get that summer bod.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's actually been a thing for gyms to pick up more this time, of the year. Yeah. Get in shape. No more Easter.
No more candy. Easter candy. Yeah.
And after 7,000 eggs passed out here at the church for
the egg hunt.
Good luck, parents. We love you.
So have you ever experienced where the Easter candy lasts until Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
I've never had my candy last that long.
We usually hide some of ours, kind of ration it out every now and then.
Or if it's the middle of summer and you're mowing and you're just weed eating up to get something like, what is that?
Oh, there's an egg.
What's an egg doing right there?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and then you get a little nice little treat while you're mowing the yard.
yeah. It's like, hey. You open it up. The ants haven't gotten into this yet. Ooh. Yeah, that Tootsie Roll is really soft. So
Just the months of rain has really helped it.
yeah, it's really grown.
It grew into a Tootsie Roll tree.
I understand, speaking of Easter candy and stuff, that Patrick is new to a new sport in the world.
I don't know if I've heard this yet.
It's a peep jousting.
Yes.
I hear that you're new to peep jousting.
Apparently, I've just been living under a rock.
Well, it's now confirmed that I have, actually. So tell me about peep jousting.
Well, you know the little peeps.
I
the
do.
Little peep thingies. You take them and you put a little toothpick in this one and you put a little toothpick in this one, like a joust.
Uh-huh.
Then you put them on a paper plate
Okay.
in the microwave. And as they swell, like they're going to explode, the first one that pokes the other one wins. And Patrick,
That is
I received a
awesome.
message the other night being told I had failed as a youth person because some of my youth didn't know what peep jousting were.
And
then we have peep jousted in youth before.
But the real winner is whoever gets to clean up the exploded marshmallow in the microwave.
Yes. That's what I was thinking, actually.
Well, I have a really bad story about that in real life. True teenage microwaves were new, and someone decided it'd be great to put a bullfrog in one at a friend's house. Don't do that.
I think you've told this story before.
Yeah, I've told it before.
It sounds very familiar.
It's very gross. Don't do that. It's a bad thing.
Also, don't put your electronic devices in the microwave.
Yeah, that's never
There's a trend going around right now where, if you drop your phone in water, that you can put it in the microwave to dry it out. And people are destroying their phones because they're believing it. So,
wow. I mean, anything metal's just not good.
If people would just,
addition.
Stayed with the Tide Pods, we've been okay by now. Stayed with the Tide Pods.
Yes. So what are we talking about today, guys?
Conspiracies.
Okay. So we are headed down your alley.
So before we get to your conspiracy, do we want to talk a little bit about like an Easter-y thing?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we did tease this too.
Yeah, that's true.
About the cross.
Yes.
So I asked a question several episodes ago that was asked to me. What happened to Jesus's cross, the one he was crucified on? So we challenged everybody to go out there and see what they could find. And so what did y'all find?
I found answers.
The truth was out there and you found it.
Yes. So it's a long story.
Yeah, we won't.
But
But on it really long.
The Cliff's Notes version.
So the timeline of events, the Cliff Notes version, is basically Saint Helena discovered the true cross in Jerusalem on May 3rd of 326 AD. So this is like 300 years after the crucifixion.
This is the mother of Constantine.
Yes. And supposedly, after the crucifixion, the Jews hid the crosses.
Yeah.
She converted to Christianity and was going to the Holy Land to, see where Jesus had been and to also try to preserve the relics that she could find. Well, she supposedly found 3 crosses, but they didn't know which one was the true cross that Jesus had died on. And so they took it to the bishop of Jerusalem at the time, Saint Macarius, who had the idea to have a sick woman test it. So, yes, he made a sick woman who was previously incurable touch all 3 crosses. And the first 2 that she touched, nothing happened. But supposedly the 3rd cross, when she touched it, she was healed.
That's why they call it the true cross.
The true cross. And so when she touched the cross, she was healed from her infirmity, whatever it was.
The
sickness, yeah. And so that to them was the sign that this was the true cross that Jesus had died on. And so St. Helena then constructed around the site with the cross the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Sepulchre, is that how you say that?
Sepulchre.
I don't know. That thing.
Yeah.
That is still in Jerusalem today. But that was only the first part. The cross of Christ was kept by the church in Jerusalem, but it was absconded by, I can't say this name either, but he was the king of the Persians in the year 614 AD. When the Persians invaded Syria and Palestine. So he stole the cross. But then in the year 629 AD, the cross was recovered and brought back to Jerusalem by Emperor Heraclius. I should have looked up pronunciations for all these names because I'm from Tennessee, y'all.
On the same day that the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was...
Which is interesting.
dedicated.
That day was September 14th when St. Helena founded the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Sepulchre.
Yeah.
That thing, I can't say it. But then supposedly when it was recovered in 629 AD by the Emperor of Constantinople and brought back to Jerusalem, it happened to be on the same day, September 14th. So that's kind of when they celebrate that as like a feast day.
Well, they did until 1960.
Yes.
Then Pope John the 23rd said no more celebrating this day.
But then
there's more.
It disappeared again. So a few years after it was brought back, the Arab conquest began and Jerusalem came under Muslim rule, right? So up until the 10th century, the worshippers of the cross continued to exist without suffering much harm. They even increased in territories that had remained Christian, in particular Constantinople. When difficulties arose and the Christians were persecuted, the cross was withdrawn from its setting and hidden again. 90 years later, in 1099, it reappeared once more and was reinstated in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre. Sepulchre. I'm sounding it out like I was taught.
I think it is something. So
it became the symbol of the Crusader Kingdom of Jerusalem. So it was kind of hidden again and then brought back in 1099. But then it disappeared again.
No way.
Yes. This time definitively. So in 1187, on the battlefield of Hattin next to Lake Tiberias in Galilee, the Crusaders had taken it with them to bring victory against the Sultan Saladin. However, they lost the battle, and Jerusalem fell into the hands of the Sultan. The cross disappeared without leaving a trace. So legend has it that Pope Urban III, on hearing the news, dropped dead. That the cross had been destroyed, basically. So the cross was gone after the battle. So whether it was destroyed in the battle or taken, nobody knows. But there was part of the cross that had been left in the Basilica of the Holy, however we say it. And so supposedly then what was left was kind of fragmented out. So there are still fragments of this supposed cross that are around the world. The largest fragment is preserved in Greece in the monastery of Mount Athos. There are other fragments in Rome, Brussels, Venice, Ghent, and Paris. So there's still pieces of the cross out there, supposedly.
I asked Pastor Gary, what do they tell them when they're in Jerusalem when they go to the Holy Land trip?
Oh, yeah.
And he said that over the years, wars and stuff, people get them, and it was even a thing if you were really rich to buy a piece of it. And so it was even traded for and stuff. Pieces of it were sent all over the place and to have people to have one, and kind of that's the reason how it got broken up. So there's lots of different legends. I don't guess any of us truly knew, since nobody was there to report the news then.
Yeah. Right.
Well, there was actually supposedly a lot more of it left. In 1242, there were a couple of big fragments and what were supposedly the instruments of the Passion. So like the crown of thorns, the nails, the holy spear, as they called it, and the holy sponge were all preserved in Paris. But during the French Revolution in 1794, all of that pretty much disappeared. And all that's left there in Notre Dame is, Notre Dame, thank you, are a few of the fragments and one nail. One of the holy nails supposedly still remains. So
I had read a quote from John Calvin that said, if all the pieces of the cross were added up, they wouldn't all fit in Noah's Ark or something like that.
I heard that.
But they said it's because it's so holy and Christ's blood multiplied it. And so that's how a lot of...
I think there's a lot of fakes out there.
Well, in the Catholic Church, you have many different, and I was reading about this too, I ran across this, you have many different kinds of things in many different basilicas, churches, whatever, that claim to be, we talked about St. Helena, there's supposedly this one little statue thing that in the center of it has one of the nails, supposedly one of the original nails, and that's the centerpiece of this particular church. But then you have, I remember this when I was in high school being a big deal, because I think it was in 88, the Shroud of Turin.
Yeah, me too.
And supposedly that carbon dating was debunked that it was real, but then there's all kinds of controversy about how the tests weren't done with much academic rigor, and it maybe the piece that was dated might have been a patch that was added later, and just all these kinds of things. So, do we really know? No. It's hard to know.
I read something that said that all of these supposed true fragments, which, yeah, exactly, would equal about 1/10 of the actual cross.
Yeah.
So they're saying that about 1/10 of it was all that was left in the basilica, and the rest of it got destroyed in that battle.
And to prove this, because y'all have mentioned 2 of the nails. And I had read a thing where one of the knights in England had a nail put into his lance, and it was the very tip of his lance. So if he even touched people with it, they just died.
There's a holy nail on
the
his
holy nail, but it's built in this lance that you can see somewhere. And so, we're down to 7 nails now. So, but anyways,
there's even debate on how many nails were used.
Yeah,
some say 2, some say 3, some say 14.
Yeah,
I saw that somewhere, and it all depends on how exactly Jesus was crucified. There's the camp that it was an actual cross. Some say it was just a stake. Was he actually tied up to with no nails used at all? Lots of things.
One of the guys was talking about how it was because of improper translation of a word from one to another, and this word means this here and there. So the reality of it is we don't know 100% because it wasn't like today where everything we have to have a video of, And it's interesting. I wasn't 100% sure of what happened to the cross when I was asked that question, because I never just really, quite honestly, gave it a lot of thought.
Right.
Right. And I just don't remember talking about it. I'm sure we did it at some point.
Well, there's whole academic studies devoted to years
completely.
and years.
Yes,
People just, they study this and this
It's their
alone.
thing. Yeah.
Which is cool to know, but at the same time, it's like the important thing that happened on the cross happened. Like we know that.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Now that is
so
taken down.
Generally historically accepted
Yeah.
as actually happening, the baptism and the crucifixion, despite what different religions would actually say.
Yeah, because we even have governmental documents and oral tradition. Yeah.
But I think that falls into we as postmodern or modern thinkers, we want the closed caption TV footage.
Oh, yeah.
And when we read the Bible, this word is exactly the word that God gave somebody, that exact word. And it means to them what it means to us now. That's not really what the Bible is. No. It's not evidence you enter into court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a record of the TV footage of what actually happened.
Yeah.
And so I think we fall into that trap too many times. And like you said, we kind of miss the whole point of the event sometimes because we're really stuck, really trying to prove scientifically that everything happened in this way.
And it goes to what we're about to talk about. I'm going to transition by using this.
I'm interested to see how you're going to transition.
Recently there was a shooting at the school in Covenant in Nashville.
Correct.
And within 24 hours, we were seeing body cam footage. And people were watching this stuff like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I asked the question in my head of why? Why do you want to see that so bad? Why do you want to see the taking of? Why is it so important to you that you see it? And I think it's because of exactly what you said, Kevin. We want to prove it. You know, I've got to know, because if I don't know, if I didn't see it with my own two eyes, then, well, it's just the government's trying to, another conspiracy, or it's a thing of the news or whatever. So which leads us into that whole conspiracy theory world that exists, that Patrick is the president
It's belief. You know, it's like if you can't see it with your own two eyes, you're going to have to believe somebody else's thing. And trust right now is a rare commodity. So.
I saw someone launch a pig one time, and hey, pigs flew. But I mean, it didn't have no wings, but come on, you know.
Yeah, and we've talked about that too. Trust is at an all-time low. Maybe that's why, because we've been fooled before. We don't want to be fooled again.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's because they're lying to us about glitter.
So I've been waiting, 3 weeks now?
Yeah. He's been talking about glitter for 30 years.
Look, I came across this conspiracy and I need answers.
Okay.
I have answers. I actually found some answers.
Let's see. So I'll kind of tell you the story that I came across. So y'all can look it up and read it. It's a fairly long article. Basically, so there's like this global shortage of glitter. And so someone at the New York Times was like, hey, I'm going to go see what's going on, right? Like just doing some investigative journalism. Why is there a global shortage on glitter? And what they found was trade secrets. It's all like CIA levels of obfuscation. Like it's crazy. So there are only 2 places that actually make glitter in the world. Do you know where these 2 places are?
One of them's New Jersey.
One of them's in New Jersey. You know where the other one is?
Roswell.
No. Also New Jersey. Yes.
So how is that 2 places?
Because
New Jersey and New Jersey?
2 separate facilities.
Oh.
There's more than one thing in New Jersey.
Oh.
But I just find it odd that New Jersey, that's the glitter place.
Everything in New Jersey is odd.
So this person, this New York Times reporter, calls to try to set up an interview or whatever. And the first place, the rumored farm site, would not even answer any questions. And all their response was, we are a very private company. That was it. Wouldn't answer questions, wouldn't talk to this person at all. The second, which is really like the biggest manufacturer of glitter, is GlitterX.
Oh, yeah. The famed GlitterX, yes.
So tries to get an interview and actually gets to talk to these people and asks for a tour of the facility. And they say, absolutely not. So get this. They didn't want them to even visit the glitter factory. The CEO told the reporter over the phone that people have no idea of the scientific knowledge required to produce glitter, that GlitterX's glitter-making technology is some of the most advanced in the world, that people don't believe how complicated it is, and that, quote, he would not allow me to see glitter being made, that he would not allow me to hear glitter being made, and that I could not even be in the same wing of the building as the room in which the glitter was being made. So what is it about the sound of glitter being made that is so top secret? This just gives me more questions. Like, everybody kind of knows what glitter is. Like, what is glitter?
It's little sparkly stuff.
Of plastic.
It is plastic coated in aluminum, basically. Mm-hmm. And the different coatings of aluminum give it the different colors. They described how they made the glitter, but they wouldn't actually let them observe the process. And some of it didn't make sense because he said, how do you get the aluminum film to adhere to
The plastic.
And they said, oh, we evaporate the aluminum.
Yeah. Like powder coating.
And he's like, how do you evaporate? It's like with heat. That it was that level of, we're not going to tell you exactly, but they could get the colors. So like on some of that rainbow glitter that they do, each layer of aluminum film that they put on here has to be the exact like width of that wavelength of light to get that color. So red is like the biggest one, and they go all the way, and they put a UV coating on there. So if we could see an ultraviolet spectrum, we would see a different color on the glitter. I think the thickest one is about 230 nanometers.
Oh my.
Which human hair is like 80,000 to 100,000 nanometers. So it's like these layers of aluminum are microscopic. It's very interesting. But y'all want to know some of the fun ways they use glitter?
Yeah, sure.
Because this will lead into kind of one of the bigger pieces of this conspiracy. So most things we can kind of see, the glitter, whether it's on a bass boat or on an NFL helmet or on a credit card or
A car.
a jet ski paint job or something. It's like
Makeup.
when you see that sparkly, that's glitter.
Sand.
There's a lot of glitter in sand, let's be honest. Because it's plastic and aluminum, it'll last pretty much forever. I think they said it'll take over 1,000 years to start to biodegrade.
So is glitter in our bloodstream?
Probably.
Ooh.
They talk about how when they talk about microplastics in the ocean, that's a lot of what they're talking about because this glitter just floats around in it.
We have microplastics in us. In our
Yes.
blood.
Yes.
They're finding
Well,
that.
because they use glitter in everything, and they've been pumping it out for really since the 60s. And some of the interesting ways that they use it that I wasn't aware of is, one, they feed it to animals so they can track the cycles of their stool. So they find like which stool matches up with the glitter they gave them that day, because glitter is so specific, it's traceable. The FBI has cataloged every type of glitter that has been made so that if glitter shows up in a crime scene, they can track it. Yeah, it's interesting. Plywood manufacturers put glitter in some of their plywood to ensure that there's no counterfeits because it's that impossible to get rid of glitter.
I've not heard that one.
Yeah,
That's fascinating.
Plywood is getting counterfeited.
apparently. Like this is the kind of stuff I'm getting it. Like
Maybe that explains why I had that problem on that one particular project recently.
It might have been a piece of the cross in there,
Ooh.
and you just thought it was a knot,
Yeah, maybe.
or it might have been glitter.
I've heard the military is a big user of glitter. Like they want to develop stealth technology or something, right?
Well, here's the thing. These are all things that they admitted that people were buying. I mean, one of the big purchasers of glitter that actually came out and admitted to buying a lot of the glitter was Revlon.
Oh yeah.
And so it's in all your cosmetics. I mean, they put it in lip gloss,
Powder,
right,
But there is one company that buys more glitter, or I say company. There is one
Besides the United States government.
I don't know. It could
Fort
be
Knox.
it could be the government, and this is where the conspiracy
US
comes
Treasury.
in. Is that there is one buyer of glitter that buys more glitter than anybody else,
But we don't know who
but
it
we
is.
don't know who it is.
It's a shell
But
corporation.
they think
And
it's in
so-
the $100 bill.
When they asked which industry served as glitter's biggest market, her answer was, "No, I absolutely cannot tell you that." He said, "Well, but you know what it is." And she said, "Oh, yes. And you would never guess it. Let's just leave it at that." And I asked if she could tell me why she couldn't tell me. And she said, because they don't want anyone to know that it's glitter. And then he said, if I looked at it, I wouldn't know it was glitter. She said, no, not really. Would I be able to see the glitter? Oh, you'd be able to see something, but I can't say that. That was the conversation. So whatever the largest buyer of glitter is, they don't want you to know that it's glitter. And so this is where the conspiracy comes in. Is it the government? Are they using it in money, or are they using it in bombs? Is it something to do with our food? Do they put it in our toothpaste? Because whatever it is, they don't want you to know that it's glitter that is being used in this product. So between the mystery and the top secrecy around even how it's being made, that you can't even hear it being made, and then the fact that the biggest buyer of glitter in the world, we don't know who it is and we don't know what they're using it for. Does it have something to do with aliens? Like, I'm just saying.
I've heard the funeral industry buys a lot of glitter.
Do they coat the caskets with it?
Well, it says they're not really sure exactly what they use it for some of the stuff.
Interesting.
Toothpaste. It's been found in toothpaste and money.
That's sparkly toothpaste.
Yeah. If it's been found in it, then I'm assuming that this is not the...
some of the things that they know.
Yeah.
Right.
Cheap jewelry. Because one of the things I read is like there's a glitter shortage. And so why so much? And so construction materials, concrete sidewalks, often glitter have in them. The military, money was the bigger one of some of them from this very reliable source, knowyourmeme.com.
Ah, yes.
And but it's really interesting article. There's a TikTok lady that did something, maxed out mom.
Oh.
And she had something where it was money, or I can't remember what the end of it was.
One of the speculations I saw was that they used it in pickup truck paint, and the reason they didn't want all the rednecks to know that there was glitter on their trucks, because glitter's for girls and children.
But the glitter conspiracy is one of the most search-interested things on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
I just added a few searches to it myself.
I'm telling you. And now I want to know what they're using glitter for.
Yeah, it was the thing of some things they admit to, like boats. Your dad's boat is like glitter.
Oh, it is all glitter, yeah.
All of them are a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. So whatever this secret thing is you're not going to be able to tell that it's glitter when you look at it.
That's what makes me wonder about money.
Yeah.
In this one thing, it was the $100 bill. The new ones, when they created them, they really do have like the 100 on there on the side. It's real bright.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, that's possible. And that would explain why they don't want you to know, because they don't want counterfeiters
and if they are cataloged.
Patrick, give me one of your $100 bills.
Oh, yeah. Here, just take the whole wad.
I mean, I didn't know the $100 bill had glitter on it or even gold on it until I Googled it, because I'd never seen one.
But are they printing enough that it would make it the biggest buyer? Are they printing more $100 bills than the makeup industry is making lipstick? You know what I mean?
But it could be used in spy satellites.
Yeah.
They're printing like 65 point something $billion a year.
Well, maybe.
So
does NASA or SpaceX use it in their rockets?
Actually, I think I did see something where NASA does use it some because it's lighter than something else they were using. I can't remember where it was.
How many of us have glitter in our intestines?
Oh, probably all of us.
I always thought glitter was literally metal, though.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's plastic.
Yeah,
coated.
It was
it was an
plastic,
aluminum film to make it reflective.
I don't know how girls put that around their eyes and stuff, because I've gotten glitter in like the edge of your eye before. Oh my goodness. It feels like someone's trying to stab you with something.
Well, and that's one of the things they did say was that there's different levels of glitter. So there's like the bigger, like craft glitter that gets on everything, and they use that like glitter bombs and stuff.
The ones that the custodians here at the church hate.
They love them so much because again, you can't get it off.
It's horrible.
This journalist did ask what the best way to remove glitter was if you get it on you, and they said use a dryer sheet to wipe it off.
Static electricity.
Because the dryer will break that static cling and it'll just fall off.
Wow.
So if you ever get glitter all over you, dryer sheets. But the craft glitter, that's big. I mean, but some of it, they make it so it's so fine, you have to look at it under a microscope. It's like almost powder. So,
well, yeah, because they use isn't there such a thing as edible glitter for cakes and cookies and stuff like that?
I was just about to ask that same question.
Yeah.
I'm reading here
and also, the minimum they will sell it in is 10 pounds of glitter for about $1,000 is what they said they sold it. And so like makeup companies, if they buy 10 pounds of this glitter, that's supposedly enough to make like 500,000 tubes of lipstick.
Well,
just the quantities.
Well, I say women, people who wear lipstick has swallowed it before, right?
Oh, sure.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So got glitter in them.
Yeah. Even if you just kiss somebody that has some lipstick on.
I've never done that. So
you never kissed anybody that wears lipstick?
Never kissed anybody. So, glitter.
Glitter. It gets everywhere.
It's worse than sand.
And
Sand is glitter.
if you can tell it's glitter, then it's not.
The real glitter.
Like, it kills me. It's like, whatever the biggest glitter buyer is, they don't want you to know that it's glitter.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
Yeah.
And I guarantee there's someone doing this. They're watching the shipping trucks leaving these plants, and they're just following them.
It's like
places.
Willy Wonka.
So glitter. I mean,
Yeah.
who knew?
So they ended this interview. They asked, so what exactly is glitter? And the son of the CEO said, I would say that they're small decorative particles. But that's not really correct because there are other small decorative particles. And then his father, the CEO, answered and said, since we're a glitter manufacturer, anything we do is now called glitter. And so that's what it is. Glitter just is glitter. It has now been changed in the dictionary to be like a collective noun, like rice or sand. Glitter
Really?
is just glitter.
Chief sheds. He's a lab. He sheds.
Yeah.
So Barbie calls his hair when it falls off Chief glitters. So I have glitter at my house.
Yeah.
Anybody want to make a Chief glitter something? Let me know. I can hook you up.
So are you saying that glitter is a brand name, but it's also, is it like Kleenex is to tissue?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
But again, they're the only people that make glitter because both locations in New Jersey, they're owned by the same company.
Wow.
So there's only one company in the world that makes glitter, and it's in New Jersey.
How hasn't the FTC, come down on them hard for having a monopoly?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all trade secrets and
Maybe because the government is the
exactly.
key customer.
It could.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big conspiracy
And the
theory.
IRS.
And it's like,
Yeah.
but what is
And
the
the
government
Treasury.
using glitter for? So some people are speculating that's like a key component in bombs and like.
Well, there
weapons
is
of
such a
mass
thing as a
destruction.
glitter bomb. We talked to
Well,
Mark,
yeah.
Mark Rober.
What about down here at Whiteville where they make the flares?
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the things that they were in flares and stuff, the airplanes shoot out so a missile won't hit them.
Yeah.
That there's some kind of maybe in some of that too.
Yeah.
So maybe it's in flares and stuff.
See, it would make sense if the government was the biggest buyer and then used it for all these different things. But the way that they answered the question, they don't want you to know that it is glitter. Makes it sound like it's used for one product in particular. They don't want you to know that it is glitter. I'm just, it just makes me question.
I think it's that stuff that tears up the inside of my mouth from all that candy.
That's it.
It could be. That's why.
That's
Glitter
it.
hates me. Glitter hates
They
me.
put it in candy. And the reason they don't want you to know it's glitter is because then the FDA is going to get involved.
Well, that is interesting. I really have not thought this much about glitter in my entire life, but
That's what they're counting on, Glenn. They don't want us asking questions.
yeah, your face is really sparkly over there with your glitter powder on. So,
If I disappear after this episode airs, you'll know why. I've asked
You've
too
said
many.
too much.
I've said too much. I've asked too many questions.
I think I did see a van in the parking lot.
I'm getting
earlier.
too close.
It's probably white. It's a white van, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it looked like a kidnapper van.
Yeah.
It's good knowing you, Patrick.
I
Hey,
had some paint chipping
at
off of
least,
it.
at least you got to see Peep jousting before you're gone.
That's true. Yes.
Oh, maybe that's because it makes peeps.
Peeps are glittery.
Peeps are glittery. There's probably glitter in peeps.
Aha!
But if they look glittery, then
They're
it's
not glitter.
Well, we're so glad that you are hopefully still listening.
Yes.
And so,
If you've got any like
How
ideas,
absurd.
like let us know what you think they're using the glitter for.
yeah, who knows?
What is the role of glitter in churches?
Drive custodians crazy. Make them pull their hair out. Morris, if you notice, he's bald. It was after one
When he started,
family
he had
Advent night.
he had a full head of hair, and then
Yeah, he had family Advent night. Boom, smooth as silk.
It leads to a closer walk with thee. Oh my.
Well, we are going to talk about the potluck dinner in a little bit
yes,
when we get to the calendar, but you wanted me to share a few more little tips
Yes.
before we get to that point. If it needs a bowl, forget about it. Lasagna, baked chicken wings.
you put lasagna in a bowl, or are you saying lasagna's okay?
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
Lasagna, baked chicken wings, mashed potatoes. People almost always bring dishes you can eat off of a plate. Don't double your host post potluck workload by bringing a soup or stew.
I like it.
No soups or stews.
Nothing that has to be eaten out of a bowl. I like that. So
And
that
then-
way you don't have to have two.
Eggs.
Although, if you put out bowls and plates, it just doubles the amount of like available
Surface area. Well, we ought to talk about that because that is a major strategic approach to the potluck.
It is.
How do you
load your plate?
How do you strategically be successful in a potluck?
You start at the dessert table and work your way backwards.
Because it's less crowded to start? I mean, first of all, do you want to sample everything or do you just go to that one thing, favorite thing? For those of you that have been in lots of potlucks, I'm assuming you two guys.
I'm more of a sampler. I try to like get a little bit of everything at least.
I felt like it was a duty to try everybody's something.
But then I always go back for seconds, and it's like once I've sampled, it's like, okay, I really like this and I really like this, and then I'll go and get more of those two things,
But there's a whole I wouldn't say subculture, but sub layer underneath everything, because when the potluck's over and you have some dishes that are almost still full.
Yeah, I know.
And some that are completely gone. Mm-hmm. You don't want that person to feel badly that they didn't,
I have help for them. Think outside the stove. We get it. Even if you're not comfortable in the kitchen, you still want to be invited to the potluck festivities. That's completely fine. Bring paper goods, napkins, plates, cups, utensils. If you want to bring something to consume, go for the beet or wine route.
Aha.
Beer. I'm sorry, beer or wine route. Which don't do that as a church potluck. So don't bring beer or wine to the church potluck. Good
advice.
The biggest thing is bring pizza. If you don't know what to do and you can't cook very good, bring pizza, because it doesn't become corn casserole. It becomes Lori's corn casserole. It becomes Elizabeth's corn casserole. And then it's lore out there.
That's right. I've got to have some of Dottie's cake.
Exactly.
Whatever it is.
Exactly.
Wow.
Here's my favorite tip. Avoid the triple S.
What is the triple S?
Stinky, spicy, and strange. Things that are super garlicky, overly spicy, or have weird ingredients make people hesitant to go for your dish. Plus, since people are bringing an array of different dishes, it's important that yours doesn't overpower the rest.
Oh, see, I live by the 3 S's.
So avoid the triple S, Patrick.
So what about organizing the table? So this is where I need to speak to an organizer or a facilities person. So do you put all of the corn casserole together? Or do you scatter them strategically?
Well, I think the one we're going to have is going to have multiple lines.
Oh,
so you put a different corn casserole on each line.
Exactly. You have to do that.
Baby. But then you can't sample them all unless you go through all.
Well, you'll have to like send one person through this line and one person through this, and then we all compare and we come back.
And depending on how large the potluck is, even if you do like half a spoonful of something, your plate's still going to be overflowing.
Oh yeah,
that's why we need to flip it, and instead of avoiding bowls, we go only bowls. Nothing that can go on a plate. We have to have only stews and soups and I don't know what else goes in a bowl. Cereal.
The problem is though that super frustrates the people whose food shall not touch.
Yeah, I have a daughter like that.
Potlucks are the nemesis of
Me
those.
at the frozen yogurt place, I put a little bit of each into my bowl.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could do that. Would corn casserole and mashed potatoes and all that go together?
I mean, I'm usually layering
broccoli
my plate.
Casserole.
So I have the bottom layer and then they layer.
Corn and mashed potatoes mixed together is pretty good.
That is good.
It's like pot pie, sort of.
You want to know something amazing?
Huh?
Mashed potatoes with barbecue sauce in them.
Oh, that'd probably be interesting.
Or Chick-fil-A sauce.
I bet that's pretty good.
Just put you a little bit in there and max them up. Ooh, girl.
Okay. You know what?
So what is your favorite sauce of those? We've got different brands around here. Do you have a favorite?
Of fast food restaurants?
Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, Slim Chickens. We've got all kinds of chicken sauce.
Yeah.
Oh.
If it's the chicken sauces, for me, it's Zaxby's.
Really?
I'm a fan of Zax sauce.
I like Zax sauce.
Yeah, because usually if I go to Chick-fil-A, I don't get the Chick-fil-A sauce. I get the Polynesian sauce.
Yes, I like that too.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A sauce isn't even the best
too.
sauce at Chick-fil-A. So
I like it, but I like Zax sauce a little bit better.
We're not sponsored by any of these people.
No.
But
Yes,
we could be.
we just like chicken.
Skinny chickens,
Slim chickens.
Yeah, it's okay. I just don't. Their sauce just wasn't that different.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, if you're a chicken place in a town full of chicken places, have a little bit different.
Yeah.
Go for the triple S. Don't go for something the same.
I wonder if we'll get any hot chicken places here that are local hot chicken.
Yeah, because was up in Nashville during the hot chicken craze.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how some restaurant chains have picked up hot chicken as an item seasonally, I can't remember who it was that did that recently.
I don't know. I do like some hot chicken, though. Hot chicken's good.
Hot chicken is...
It's okay. I mean, it's not
better than cold chicken.
I don't know, though. Cold fried chicken the next day, pull it out of the bucket. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Ride it straight out of the refrigerator. I don't know. That's pretty hard to beat.
Everything's congealed at that point.
It is. Well, just in case you were wondering, all of these tips have come from Bon Appetit, the Bon Appetit website, bonappetit.com. And you can check out to be a successful potluck person.
Now we've given everybody anxiety of what they need to do or not do for a potluck.
And so we'll have some more.
Worst case scenario, just show up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Participate.
That's really what it boils down to. Is come and eat.
Fellowship and community.
And don't forget the desserts. I mean, we haven't got desserts yet. But
yeah, well, we can talk about desserts next week. I mean, we still got a couple of weeks to this thing. We don't want to give away all the industry secrets until then.
But bonappetit.com will help you just in case you forget these. You can send this to your friends too.
Well, that potluck dinner is on May 7th at 5:00 p.m.
Yay.
It's on my calendar.
Yes, we'll be there.
You know what else happens on May 7th?
I do.
New Sunday schedule. Sunday.
Is it 10, 2, and 4 like Dr. Pepper?
No. Oh. If it was, I wouldn't be here. That's not true.
I like some Dr. Pepper.
I like some Dr. Pepper too. But no, the Sunday schedule is 9 a.m. in the sanctuary, 10 a.m. Sunday school, and 11 a.m. in Hope Hall.
Cool.
It's exciting.
As cool as a Dr. Pepper.
Now I want some Dr. Pepper. I'm thirsty now. May 7th is also graduation Sunday, and they're going to have sort of a breakfast beforehand, and then
family breakfast.
Little family breakfast beforehand, and then they're going to be hanging out at tables kind of in the middle of the big hallway so that people from both services can stop by and see and talk to the graduates and give them a graduation gift if they want, or just a high five.
Or a potluck dish.
They'd appreciate it. I guess I'm starting at the end and working back. April 29th is going to be a tech day that we're going to have. Sort of a training and team building day for anybody that wants to volunteer with the technical stuff that we do on Sunday mornings. If you're interested in running sound or running lights or video, come on out. April 29th, it's Saturday at 10 a.m.
And I'm going to throw this out here. We've talked a little bit about the way social media is a part of most of our lives now. I could see for our online community, those who may watch the services later or maybe just watch them live or they can't get here, whatever it is, to have somebody sort of help guide those or have interaction with the people online. Maybe we call it a chat host or something, but someone who could help on Sunday mornings when we actually have the live stream services, communicate with those folks, maybe take prayer requests, answer questions or whatever like that. If maybe you don't see yourself as maybe a tech person in sort of the traditional way that you think about it, whether it's sounds or lights or whatever, but you enjoy doing social media or, you're a people person and connect and that way, maybe you could plug in there. Our goal is, among many other things, is to try and find a place for everybody to serve. And I think that could be one way people do it. And like we've said before, if you have an idea of how you can serve people, let someone know, bring it up. Come to us. It doesn't matter if it's in our area or not. We can shepherd it to the next person who can help. But I think one of our challenges and calls is to be in action, not just to study and have a relationship with God, but be in action to serve one another. So that's maybe another idea we haven't talked about, but something we can do.
Yes, what he said. The week before that, April 23rd, is going to be one joint service in the sanctuary. We're going to have Sunday school at 9 a.m., one joint service at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary, and then a church meeting in Hope Hall at 11:30. So make sure you come out to that. Also that weekend, April 21st through the 23rd, is the renewal with all the youth in partnership with New Hopewell in Medina. So there'll be lots of youths running around the church that weekend.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a big weekend.
It'll be good. The week before that is April the 16th, which is Confirmation Sunday. And the Saturday night before Confirmation Sunday, April the 15th, Tax Day, is going to be a baptism service Saturday night, where some of the confirmands that want to be baptized by immersion, that'll happen Saturday night.
It's going to be a busy weekend because it kicks off Friday night with the men's event.
That's this Saturday.
Yes.
I had to look at my calendar. I forgot what day it was.
A busy weekend.
Yeah, lots of stuff happening.
We warned you. April's busy.
Yes. Also this weekend, Friday, coming up, is the men's gathering out at Bill Span's house. So if you are a man here at Northside and you want to just come hang out, eat some food, have a good time with fellowshipping with the other men of Northside, make sure you put that on the calendar. And we're going to have transportation. If you don't want to drive out there, we're going to meet at the church, and the transport is going to leave about 6 o'clock to head out there. So,
and we are watching the weather, and if something changes with the weather and gets kind of wild, we will make an audible.
Yes,
probably to meet at the church.
Yeah, probably.
So we will meet unless it's just really crazy bad, which we don't know as we're recording this.
Yeah.
What the weather's going to do, because we won't know what the weather's doing until we start.
I was going to say, it's Jackson, Tennessee. We won't know what the weather's going to be doing until that day. So
10 minutes before.
Exactly. And even then it might change.
It might change. Isn't it funny? That's the old saying, if you don't like Tennessee weather, wait for 10 minutes and it'll change or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They used to say that in Texas too. I guess they say it everywhere.
I think so.
If you don't like Minnesota weather,
move out of Minnesota.
Wait 10 minutes.
Because let's be honest,
it'll be horrible.
Minnesota's far enough north, it's probably just cold most of the time.
Good summers, but they're not as long.
Yeah.
Have y'all been following at all, speaking of weather, the snow out west, Utah and stuff like that?
A little bit.
Mike and Katie Pace used to go to church here, and Katie works for Taos, I think, snow skiing and stuff. And she's been posting and talking about all the snow they're getting. It's just bizarre. Feet and feet and feet of snow that they've got this year.
Yeah, I saw something. There was a ski resort that had to close because there was too much snow.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't normally think about that being an issue, but yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
Normally you think snow's good for a ski resort, but
Weather's an interesting thing.
Well, guys, thanks for podcasting with me. And thanks to all of you out there in the world for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram at Northside Now Podcast. Go to our website, northsidejackson.com, or email us at podcast@northsidejackson.com. We hope to hear from you soon. Once again, this is Patrick.
This is Glenn.
I'm Kevin.
And that's what's happening at Northside Now.
Bye-bye.